Welcome back to Limited Slip Racing. We're in the garage today messing around with oil filters, oil coolers, oil filter adapters, all kinds of stuff. So what I've decided to do is return my oil filter relocation kit in favor of just a small tube that the oil filter can screw onto. I'll show you what I did and how all this is going to work. Let me preface everything that I'm doing by saying that I will be keeping a very close eye on oil temperature during my runs this spring. Don't want the oil to get too hot, and if I need to, I will figure out a way to get an oil cooler back onto this thing. Anyway, I'll show you what's happened. Okay, I've got two reasons to take this oil cooler off. The first one is that it's really close to this power steering rack right here and all the lines. I could probably get that on, get the lines on, but it's just going to be a problem. So and the second reason is I bent this tube putting the motor in. I don't know, but you can see how it's kind of kinked there. I'm not sure I could straighten that out anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this oil cooler with a relocation kit and relocate this filter to a different part of the engine compartment. Alright, so to take off this oil cooler, we're going to need a 14 mil hex head that fits right inside the, let me get up here, right inside here, and that twists off. We're also going to need 10 millimeter socket up here. There's three of these bolts. I will go ahead and take all this stuff off because I know my camera abilities. I'm not going to be able to take it off and hold this thing at the same time. So I'll show you what I've done once I have done it. Well, now that I'm looking at this, it looks like I could just go ahead and find a tube to screw into this, the same size and thread type as the oil filter, and save myself $100. So I'm going to have to do some research, see if that's what I can really do. Okay, I've done some research and I have found a part, and here's the part number, that basically replaces this tube here and cuts out this middle portion, and it's just a threaded tube on both ends that allows for an oil filter to be threaded on here. Now the reason I did that is because not only is this thing broken, but if you can see the top here, I'll try to get all the shadows out, that is very similar to the plate that is on the motor that this oil cooler bolts onto. I have determined that I probably will not need an oil cooler. I don't run that thing very hard for an extended period of time. I run it very hard, but only for about a minute or two each time, and then it's got a significant cool down period. So I'm thinking that the oil cooler is not necessarily in my application. Okay, as I just showed you, this is the base of the oil cooler. Now what I've done is this is the adapter that I found, and as you can see, you can just run it in there with a 14 mil hex head. And the filter just screws right up on there. Now of course I'm going to lubricate that O-ring before I finally put it on there. I have plenty of room for all of my hoses and pumps.